Greetings, greetings, greetings. I know most of you are out today enjoying this festivity of the 4th of July. You know, you're out, you may be having a beer or two, you're probably out on the beaches, enjoying the warmth of the sun and all there is to offer of this great country that we live in, these United States of America. And I bid you greetings from the most wishful John G. Jones Grand Lodge, the state of California. I know most of you have had the barbecue, you had the ribs, the chicken. You have really indulged yourself in the activities of all there is to offer. And hey, it's great. I mean, I hope that you've enjoyed yourself and I thought about today. This is why I'm on live today. I thought about today and what it is and what the meaning of the 4th of July is to the Negro of America. I thought about that. I gave that some serious thought. And I read the Frederick Douglass speech that he gave on the 4th of July. And I read it in such a way to where I wanted to gain, I wanted to harvest the experience. I wanted to marinate in the words that he gave on that day. And before I go into it, I want to greet those who are coming along. I don't expect a lot of people to be on today. You know, you're out enjoying yourself as you should. But I want to share this with you. I just want to share this experience, and I want you to go back and I want you to read Frederick Douglass' speech that he made on the 4th of July. I want you to read it in such a way to gain from it what it is, what this 4th of July is. I looked at it and I see that we blacks, African Americans, Negroes, whatever you want to call it, blacks, African Americans, we have fought. Whatever you want to call it, we. Oh, I'm getting a lot of feedback here. We have fought in every war that this country has had. We have been a part of this country from day one, but yet we have not received all the rights, lights, and benefit of this nation. Now, some of you may agree or may not agree, but for the past 400 years, we have not yet been equally accepted in a country that we have helped build. And when I say we, I'm speaking of those that came before us and laid their life down, whether they were slave or free. I'm talking about those who sought to do right amongst their fellow men under the eyes of God. I'm saying about those who really looked and said that a man should not be kept in bondage. Those who risked their lives to free the slave, be it a black or white man. Because let the truth be told, there were white individuals, those who risked their lives and their family, that those of our ancestors would be free. They participated in the Underground Railroad. They put their whole being at risk. And for that, I appreciate those. Okay? And for those slaves who fought to be free, I appreciate you. And the mere fact that you did not just want to be a slave, you wanted to be a free man. So you was willing to risk your life to be free. And I have to ask myself sometimes, how much are we willing to give up to be free? Or are we so Americanized that we can't even see what being free is really all about? Are we so hell bent on being any system that doesn't really want us to be part of a system? So as I sat here and I read over Frederick Douglass' speech, the meaning of the 4th of July for the Negro, it really rang with me. It really resonated with me. It really brought up feelings that I hadn't really captured. And I sat here and I marinated on that for a minute. And I'm going to share with you something that was very profound in his speech. And I found those very words in the obligation that I took as a Mason. I mean, those very words that was in his speech was in an obligation that I took as a Mason. And I'm going to read with you and I'm going to share with you. And I want you in your time to go back and read it for yourself, especially if you are a 33rd. And this should resonate with you as a Mason, as a high degree Mason, one who has received his 33rd. This should resonate with you. Allow me for a minute to find it in his speech, just for a second. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go down here just for a second. Up a little bit. Okay. So it says, by the river of Babylon, there we sat. Yea, we weep when we remember Zion. We hang our harps upon the widows and the mindset thereof, for there that they may carry us away. Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cutting. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. That says a lot, because those very words, I'll say this, those very words right there, where he says, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, was in a particular obligation that I took as a Mason. And it resonated. I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. So as I began to read more into his speech, I came across this. And I just want you to think for a moment about the 4th of July and what it really is and what it means to you as a black man, as a black woman, as a Mason, as what it is to you. What does it mean to you? And here's what I found in his speech. Let's see. He said, what to an American slave is the 4th of July? I answer, a day revealed to him more than all the other days in the year. The gross injustice, the cruelty to which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasting of liberty, license, your national greatness, swelling in vanity, you sound of injustice and rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denouncing of tyranny, more boastful, fraud, deception, impurities, and hypocrites. Wow. And then the veil to cover up crimes, which would be a disgrace to a nation of savage. This is not a nation on the earth guilty. You can go and you may search where you will, roam through all the monarchs of the old world, travel through South America in search of every abuse. And when you have found that, lay your facts side by side in everyday practice of this nation, and you will say with me that for the revolting brutality and shameless hypocrites, America reigns without a rival. That is clearly say that there's no rival to the injustice of America. I would never say that America doesn't offer an opportunity, only if you're not black. And I would say that to say this. How many of you have ever gone to meetings and you look around and you say, I'm the only one? How many of you have ever been in a position and say, I'm the only one? Why are you the only one? This is the funny thing to me. I mean, why do you have to be the only one in the meeting? See, the doors of America corporations, the doors of America opportunity, they're there. But you're only going to see us, maybe one or two. And you have to look around and ask yourself, why am I the only one of the two that's in here? And I would say this here. Here's the reason why. In every opportunity that we get as a black man and black woman, any opportunity we get, We are going to shine. I don't care what it is. If you give us the opportunity to show our skills, we are going to shine. We're going to be the best in the room. You give us an opportunity to be a doctor, we're going to shine. We're going to invent the plasma, right? We're going to show you how to do heart surgery. You let us in to play golf, we'll give you Tiger Woods and those that came before him. You give us the opportunity to play tennis, I give you Serena Williams and those who's going to come after them and those that came before them. Given the opportunity on a level playing field, you who are African American, Negroes, whatever you want to put that label on, you will shine. You will outdo. You put us on a track field, we will run faster. We will jump higher. You give us a basketball, we will dribble the ball. We will make you break your ankles. Anything that we put ourselves into and given the opportunity on an equal playing field, we will outdo and outshine any people. It's just who we are. And when we realize that, then we become the game changer. It's just that simple. It's not even complicated. So the day I'm here before you, my brothers and sisters of the craft and the order, it's something that we have to realize who we are amongst ourselves. And when we get there, it's going to be a game changer. So to all of you, I bid you a happy 4th of July. Whatever you may be doing, partaking in, enjoying yourself with your family and friends, I just want you to think for a moment. What does this day mean to you? Literally, what does it mean to you? Because I know what it means to a lot of other people. But what does it mean to you, the Negro man and woman, the African man and woman, the black man and woman, whatever label you want to put on it? And when you figure that out, it's going to be an aha moment. Malcolm, what's going on with you, brother? The doors have been shut from day one. We have to, as black men, help one of those doors. Therefore, we're obligated to help one another. We are obligated to help one another. Greetings, everyone who's coming on. Brother White, anybody that knows their history knows that this is not a black holiday. No, brother Michael White, I'm going to disagree with you on that. Because a lot of us don't know our history. A lot of us are out doing and celebrating and having a great time celebrating this great 4th of July, this independence of this country, while at the same time we was in slavery. I'm just saying. It's ironic, isn't it? It is. It's something that each of us should think about. Given this great time and moment on this day, we should think about it. We should go get the Frederick Douglass speech. I have it right here. I took it out the newspaper. I took this out the newspaper. I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to pass it on to my grandkids because I think they should have it in such a way. I've had this copy right here, I've had for at least 6 years. And I read it, and it really makes me think about this 4th of July. I can recall as a kid growing up in Mississippi, the 4th of July, family cooking a great dinner, just really a celebration. But I had no clue. So for you, Brother White, to say that we should know, yeah, but we don't. A lot of us don't know because we're not told. We're not educated on it. This is why it's important that we do read. We do pass the stories down. We do encourage our youth to read books and to find out and to know. This is the reason why. So it is, what is it for me to have information and not share it? I said over and over again. And this is an important thing we should look at. So what does this day mean for you, black man, black woman? This is the 4th of July. What is it to you? You have fought. Your mothers and your cousins and your aunts and uncles have fought in every war that this country has had. But yet you are denied the equal rights of being a citizen of the very country that you fought for. You are. I mean, Just look at history and how it's taught us. I mean, so if you fought in the Korean War, you fought in the Vietnam War, World War I, World War II, the Civil War, you fought in all of them. But yet you were denied the very thing that you fought for. This is why Ali wouldn't go to Vietnam. He said the Vietnam or the Viet Cong had nothing. They didn't do anything to him. But you want to send him over there to kill somebody that has done anything to him. He said, you my enemy. You the one want to lock me up. You the one denied me a right to box for my livelihood because I don't go fight for you and you still want to keep me in bondage. You don't want me to have any light. J. Edgar Hoover said that in one of his writings, and for those of you who are familiar with him, he was the icon of the FBI or the CIA, but he was the icon, FBI. And he said that he wanted to kill the black man's Messiah. He knew that we needed a Messiah to raise us up. He knew that. And he wanted to snuff out all the light, all the hope for the black man and black woman. He wanted to snatch it out of you. So yeah, you were denied the right to read. And they had a poll tax on you to vote. They had trick questions if you went to vote. So through all the struggles of this country, we was in the mix. But yet, we don't get treated like the citizens that we are and supposed to be. We don't. We don't get equal rights under the law. You know, we don't get the same sentence that somebody who's white would get for the same crime. We don't. And you know we don't. That's the thing. We know there's the injustice. And for those for the white brothers and sisters of the craft, for you to be in a position and know the injustice that takes place, it's a travesty. It's beyond me. You know, it's really beyond me, and it is what it is. So tonight I sit here and I ponder and I look and it amazes me. You know. So, you know, greetings everybody who's coming along. I appreciate if you hit the like button. But this is this opportunity for us to think about what the 4th of July means for the Negro man and woman. It is. I know a lot of us, as I've said, we're barbecuing. We're doing it up big time. We got the family and friends over. We're celebrating. But what are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? It's the 4th of July. It's America's independence. Do you really share in the American dream? Or are you eating the breadcrumbs from the master's table? I just want you to think for a moment. Are you living the American dream, or are you taking the breadcrumbs from the table? I mean, and then here we are fighting on those very breadcrumbs, you know. Now, granted, there are some of us that are truly living the dream. I just hope you don't wake up and find that you're a nightmare. And just because you may be well off at this time and place in your life, there's one thing about life: the equality of death. Death is going to touch us all. And by the time it gets to you, what have you done with your life that you may have influenced, that you may have helped, that you may have left your footprints upon the sands of times in somebody's life? What have you done with that? It reminds me of those stories that was told to me by my elders, those who have gone before me, that I've had the privilege of listening to. And it's fascinating. My mom was born in 1936. I would imagine that she had the opportunity in her life as a young child to actually speak to a living slave. I would say that my uncle, who was born in 1905, had the opportunity to speak to a slave. So for someone to say, oh, it was a long time ago, that's not a long time ago. If you was born in 1970, you were first generation outside of the Jim Crow era. If you was born in 1970, you are first generation outside of Jim Crow era. We're only talking 40 years, what, 44 years, maybe 46? That's not long, that's not a long time ago. So when people say, oh, get over it, it was a long time ago, it wasn't a long time ago. You're only looking at a very short period of time. And for us to be where we're at today, I want to say congratulations to those who are successful in life and those who are striving to be successful in life. It is my hope that you continue to build relationships with those who want the relationship to be successful and to help them to understand what it is to be successful across the board. I don't care what it is in. You know, whether you are a successful homeowner, realtor, whatever your job in life is, if you are successful in it and you have an opportunity to help someone else to become successful, I would hope that you give them that hand up and not just a handout. I would hope so. I just want you to think. Brother Brandon Lewis, good evening to you. No, it's not our day, but I get paid not to be at work today, so I would take that. Hey, I'm not mad with you. I ain't mad with you at all. I worked today and I got that time and a half, baby. I wasn't mad. Oh, no. I went right on in just as happy. All I'm saying is that I want us to just realize and just touch on it for a moment. What it is that this day represents. That's all I'm asking. And yes, go get your money. I'm not mad at any man who goes and gets paid. No, let's clearly have an understanding about that. I can't do that. I will not do that. I would not keep a man or a woman from going and getting their money. I won't. No. You can miss all the large meetings of the year as long as you pay your dues. I ain't mad at you. That's true. Go get that money, baby. Go get it. Go get it. What's up, Mike Larry? Serious Dog Star Fireworks. Oh, yeah. This holiday has a Masonic and Moorish rites. Really? Okay, brother Mike Larry. I want you to call in and help me out with that. Mike Larry, if you can hear me, I want you to call in and help me out with that. You said this day has a Masonic and Moorish rite feel to it or some type of celebration. So hit me up. That number is 619-985-1184. 619-985-1184 is the call-in number. So do that. Give us a call in tonight. Tell us about that. If you want to call in, you can do that. That number again is 619-985-1184 if you want to call in. What's going on, Randy Teller? I appreciate it. What's happening with you, brother? Confederate flag is the Wanaka forever symbol. No, don't, no, Mike Larry. No, don't, no. You can't do that. If that's what you, no, nope, not happening here, brother. Good evening, everybody who's about to come on. I just want you to think about what does the fourth means to the Negro race, African American, colored people, whatever label you want to stick to it. I just want, what does it mean? You know, I've read Frederick Douglass' speech, and it pulls at me, and I want to encourage you to go read it for yourself, and I guarantee you it will pull at you. My grandmother was born in 1937. She was working in the fields for the white man in Arkansas. Yeah, think about that. I mean, my great-grandmother was born in 1914, and I had the honor and privilege of interviewing her before she passed away, and she was in her right mind. She told me what it was like to do sharecropping, where she lived, her and her family lived on land that they had to pay to to work in the fields. They had to pay to work in the fields. They had their little plot of land that they was working, thinking they would own that land one day, and then they would farm the other land that belonged to the white man. And in the process, they always, at the end of every year, owe more than what they had received. Always. Until they left. They had to leave. So I think about that. And I, you know, my grandmother, she lived up into her like late 80s. So I had to think about that. And it gave me something to think about. I remember as a kid growing up in Mississippi, even in the 70s, you know, even in the 60s, I would say this, even in the early 70s, as a kid growing up in Mississippi, you still had to go through the back door. My grandmother worked in a hamburger restaurant. And when I would get out of school to go see her in the 70s, I had to go through the back door. So don't tell me this was a long time ago. Okay, don't come to me tomorrow, oh, well, just forget about it. No, it wasn't a long time ago. My kids was born in the 80s. All right? Not a long time ago. Not a long time ago. But it's something that they like to tell us to forget. Don't worry about it. Get over it. I'm not getting over nothing. I'm not forgetting anything. Anything that I've learned from anybody, I'm taking it and I'm holding it. I'm learning from it. Because it is something I take to. It teaches me a valuable lesson. But yet soon forgotten that, yea, each one of us must sooner or later pass through the valley of the shadow of death, to which man is born and no traveler has returned. Yet, when a tree is planted by the river and is soon cut down, will those tender branches not sprout again? Yea, man lies down and now rises back up until the heavens and the earth are no more. I just want y'all to think about that just for a moment. Just for a moment. To be able to gravitate in the pull from those who have gone before us, those ancestors who have paved the way. Don't tell me they died for me to vote. Oh, they died for you to have the right to vote. Yeah, that was a struggle to vote. But for those that came before the 60s and the 70s and those who came before the 30s and 40s and the 20s, yeah, they fought to have the right to vote. They did. But they just didn't die so I can have the right to vote. It was so much to it. It was just so much more to it than that. And we have to understand that. We who are Masons and Eastern Stars, we got to be able to reach out, to be able to pull up. We can no longer sit idle by and be okay with what we see and what we know and talk about each other and pull each other down. If you're doing that, you're less than a woman or a man. No, that's not how we get down. And this is where we're at right now. So, Brother Malcolm, I need you to call in because I need some understanding on Freemasonry and the Moorish Rite as far as the 4th of July is concerned. Licensed messages, therapist, I'm making an impact in the field. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, make the impact. Juneteenth is our Independence Day. That is true. I'll take that. I'll take Juneteenth. I'll take it. June 18th, Juneteenth, you call it whatever I'll take that. And see, here's the funny thing. For those of us who know, and for those of us who have read what Abraham Lincoln said, he didn't really want to free the Negro. He didn't want to do that. If he could have held the Union together without freeing the Negro, he would have done it. Let's just be honest. If Abraham Lincoln could have kept the Union together without freeing the Negro, he would have did it. But because he couldn't do it, he said, okay, Emancipation Proclamation. Let's put it down on some paper. But even with that, what, the 13th Amendment, you're still a slave. A felony push you in jail, you're still a slave according to the 13th Amendment. For those of us who've seen that documentary on that, still a slave. Slavery hadn't ended. It just changed this scheme. It just, it just went up under the prison system. Look who's in prison. And holler at me. I'm trying to stay the hell out. Oh, brother, go get that money, Mike Lowry. If you at work, brother, get that money. I ain't mad at you. Get that money. Another time, another day. Master Farah Muhammad made himself known. Okay, all right. The funny thing is we celebrate Independence Day, but after that, they put us African Americans to slavery. Oh, man. Yes, absolutely. It's something for us to think about. It really is. It's called a trick. Oh, yeah. But when you are vibrating on your highest frequency, the fireworks, when they shoot the fireworks in the sky, that is a representation of, oh, you think so? You think that is a representation of that highest frequency, that Yahoo moment, that like wow moment, that pow. Okay. All right. Think so. Anthony Brown, what's going on with you, bruh? You did not have to go there, brother, with the Masonic burial. Oh man, no, bro. It just came up, bro. It just struck a chord with me when I to see that. But that is the great equalizer. Death is the great thing. Death is a transition into life. And it just as it says in that thing, as the water falls, dries and decays up, so man lies down and not rises back up. Oh, that's deep. When you think about it, that gets that thing right there, man. So we talk about the master's carpet. We talk about the blazing star. We have all these symbols and things around us that we're supposed to be learning and educating ourselves about. But to dig deeper and to grab that which is before us, some of us just toss it and give it to the swines. I would never, knowing what I know now, give my pearls to the swine. Nope. Not gonna do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. So it's just something, man. It's just something about the whole the whole atmosphere of Freemasonry and what Freemasonry should bring and how we should conduct ourselves. It's that whole atmosphere. And I often ask myself this question, even though I know the answer. Why is it that at once upon a time in this country, we were not allowed to be Masons? What was it about being a Mason that was so threatening to those they would not allow us to be a Mason? And what was so threatening that we were not allowed to read? And now that we have the opportunity to, most of us don't want to pick up a good book. I need for us to be able to pass a good book along to a sister or a brother. I need for us to encourage a good sister, a brother, or be it someone along the way. You need to pick this up. You need to read this for yourself. And man, you're not going to be the same. I had lunch yesterday with a doctor friend of mine, and we sat down and discussed some things. And he asked me, how is it that I can be on edge like I'm on edge all the time? What you see is what you get. I'm like this all the time. And he was like, Brother Hawkins, how is it that you can keep that intensity like this all the time? I said, America has me keeping this intensity like this it has me like this all the time. I've seen too much injustice. So I have to be like this all the time. I'm relaxed when I'm in my house. And even when I'm at home, calling myself being relaxed, knowing that some knucklehead can knock on your door and come in your house and shoot you, still keeps me alert. You know? So you have to be alert at all times about your surroundings. You just can't be relaxed in this country as a black man. You just can't be like, well, I'm just chilling. No. Mm-mm. Nope. 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 I'm going to be on my guard at all times. I'm going to be a Tyler at the door. I can't just, mm-mm. Nope. Even when I'm at work and I know that I'm helping people. No, I'm being on guard. That's me. And I'm not going to say it's not really stressful because, once you get to a certain point, you just get used to shit. Like, yeah, okay, I got this. And if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm saying. Abraham Lincoln needed those numbers like mainstream. Oh, my God. Boy, you got to be tripping. He said, man, he said needed it like a, wow. Man. Brings you to your third eye. Okay, all right. The secret of who you are. Is that why they wouldn't let us become Masons or allow us to participate in the craft because it was about us? One brother asked me, I'm telling you, a black man. He asked me, how can you say that the Masonic ritual is from Africa? It talks about Africa. How can you say that the Europeans, the mainstream Masons and the European put this thing together and all you can ever say is this is from Africa? Read the ritual. That's all I gotta say is read it. The allegories and symbols. Read the ritual. When it talks about Harem-a-Tyre, Harem-a-Bith, King Solomon. Just read it for yourself. And you would know what they're talking about. The lumber and how it was cut down and it traveled from Joppa. And come on, it would tell you that. You're not going to find Joppa in Europe. It's a literal place. Come on. Just read it. It's right there before you. And some of the very Masonic temples around these United States of America is very Egyptian and esoteric in its buildings. It is. If you ever have an opportunity to visit some of the white mainstream lodges, just walk in, you just want to look around. They'll let you do it. You'll see it for yourself. They got, lions at the door? Two big lions at the door. 2 big pillars. Where do you see that at? If not on the continent of Africa, be it in Egypt for the most part. But around, it's spread thereabouts. I'm just saying. It is pleasant when brothers dwell together in unity, especially black brothers. Well, good evening to you, Brother Willie. It is a pleasure to have you aboard today. And I hope that you are enjoying yourself today on this off day from work, on this holiday that has been granted to those who are celebrating the national holiday of the 4th of July. But what does that day mean for you, black man and woman? What does it mean for you? Are you given the equal rights of citizenship? Are you given the same liberties of those who governs you? What does it mean to you? Mason, Eastern Star, What does it mean? I just want you to think for a moment. Do I like what America has afforded me and how I'm living? Hell yeah. But I won't forget of the cost that those that came before me, what they paid, and still for those who are here today, what they are paying. A lot of our brothers and sisters who have grown to be leaders have been cut down short in their youth for wanting us to have better and to be considered citizens of this country that our ancestors have borne their blood and sweated and died for. Yeah, I think about that. You know, I do. I don't know if you do, but I certainly do. I give that some serious thought. I think about when, and it's funny that this is a truth, some truth, and you need to go back and search it for yourself. That along the path when slave was escaping, how they used symbols on trees that was cut into trees to let them know that they was going the right way. And the funny thing is, when you begin to read into it, a lot of them was Masonic symbols that was cut in trees, carved into trees to let the slave know which direction they was headed. Oh, look at the history. Oh, look, and I'm talking now. Look, I'm including those white individuals, those who put their lives at stake that the slave may be free. I'm talking about those who said this is an injustice to humanity, and they put their whole entire family in jeopardy by hiding a slave. I'm talking about those families, be it black or white, who said this is not right. And I'm going to participate in this thing we call the Underground Railroad. They use Masonic symbols so that that individual could find their way. Oh, read the history. If you go and indulge yourself, you would be shocked. No, you'd put a smile on your face. They would do that. I just want you to do it for yourself. You know, don't just take a person's word to give you information. Don't just take their word for it. Do your own research. Go find your own books and line your own to your own conclusion. You can agree to disagree on the information, but I'll tell you what, when it all comes to a close, at least you have a decent dialogue with the individual in regards to the information. You won't have to argue. You would have a decent conversation and dialogue. We can disagree to agree about many things that one may read, and they come to their own conclusion about what they read. And that's the beauty about communicating. It is. That is the beauty. So I want to encourage you to do that. So here we are. If you are on the show, you just coming on. Welcome to welcome to Masonic Research Lodge number 147. You know, and I hope that you're getting something out of this show today. And if you want to call in, you're certainly welcome to do so. That number is 619-985-1184. If you want to call in today, you're certainly welcome to do so. And I just want you to think, and you can call in and tell me about what it means to you, this holiday, this 4th of July. What does this 4th of July means to you as a black man, black woman, as a black Mason, Eastern Star? What does it mean to you, the Hugh man? You'll catch that when you go home tonight. You'll catch that, the Hugh man, all right? I'm just saying. There's something special about us. And I say that because if you allow us, and if you put us on an equal ground with anybody, we'll change the course. No one can keep up with us. Give us equal footing. No one can keep us with us. Let me tell you why. Music, art. I just think about whenever we do something, the world follows. Whenever we do something, the world follows. Just pay attention. That's all. Just pay attention. The world follows us. Whatever we do, the world will follow. Because that's just who we are. We are built to be leaders. But some of us will sell each other out. We'll do it in a heartbeat. Just because. He think he's an uppity nigga because he speaks great English or he commands the English language well. So he's an uppity nigga. Or because he wants to get good grades in school, you know? No, it's time out for the foolishness, you know? Go get the damn grades. Get them. Get all A's. Don't settle for less. Get them all. I'm just saying, that's my encouragement, you know, to the youth. Get it. Let me tell you, because as I was talking to my friend yesterday, I said, believe it or not, a lot of youth don't get the opportunity to sit down and talk to a doctor. Have a conversation. Just talk to the doctor and ask him or her about what it's like to be a doctor. It's 2019. And a lot of us don't get those opportunities to talk to someone like that or talk to a lawyer and ask that black lawyer what it's like to be a black lawyer, even a police officer. And I'm going to tell you this, because I'm around a lot of police officers, I often have that conversation. And here's the funny kicker. They are scared to death when they take the uniform off. Black police officers are terrified when they take the uniform off. Oh, yeah, let's just be honest. You can say whatever you want to say. They are. Great book called Black Square and Compass, 200 Years of Prince Hall Freemasonry, has that information up about, oh yeah, that is a good book. The Lord's word is a lamp unto our feet. Hey, Malcolm Prophet, what's going on with you? Welcome to the show today. I appreciate you. I hope all is well. DC message, your message was retreated, huh? Retracted. What you say there, bruh? You had to take it off. What's up, Noble Foster? Greetings, family. Means absolutely. That means absolutely nothing. All right, then. As there, like I said, in the meaningful spiritual track, if you fall for it. Okay, all right. Louisiana in the house, what's going on? I hope all is well there in the Big Easy. They keep all the truth away from the black man. Someone rode that horse. For real. Greetings, Brother Humphreys. How's everything going with you? Brother Brown, how's everything going with you? Art Sky, I hope all is well. You know, so I'm glad to have each of you on tonight. And I just want you to think about, you know, this day that is called the 4th of July. What does it mean to the black man, to the black woman who's an Eastern Star or a Mason? What does it mean? What does it represent? You know, I think like that. I carry like that because of my life experiences, and all of us have them. You know, all of us have them, and it's life will teach you a lesson. I asked the brother, what school did you go to? He said, School of Hard Knocks. I was like, damn, really? You know. But hey, here we are. Welcome everybody once again. Hit the like button for me. Hit the thumbs up button for me today. Just want to welcome you to the show. And the conversation today is, what does the 4th of July means to the Negro? After I've read the Frederick Douglass speech, I've read it a couple of times, and it really tugs and pulls at me. And I just wanted to share with you about the experience of the 4th and what does it mean. And it's crazy. So, you know, as I said, I've had this since I've had this speech here since 2012. This is the Frederick Douglass speech, and I took it out of a newspaper. It's his whole speech here. And the title of it is, what does the meaning of the 4th of July for the Negro? This was printed in 2012 in the Voice and Viewpoint here in San Diego, California. It's a black-owned newspaper. And speaking of a black-owned newspaper, there's not that many of them around. So if you can, support your black-owned newspaper. Support it. You know? It will definitely be interesting. You know, could you imagine living during that period of time in these United States of America? Could you imagine how the black man and woman live their life day to day? It would probably be very similar to what we have now. As quiet as it's kept, just think about it. You know, how our ancestors lived their life day to day in constant stress and fear of losing their life. We needed to protect each other. We needed each other to survive. And today, as quiet as it's kept, we need each other today to survive. Oh, let's be honest. Come on now, come on, get some of this. Let's be honest. We need each other. You can sit down and say, well, I don't need you. Whatever, I don't like you, whatever. Oh, yes, indeed. When one of us hurt, we all hurt. Remember Castillo, when that brother got shot? You didn't feel the pain? Come on now. Talk back to me, somebody. I'm just saying. This thing here gets to be a little deeper than anything else. There was a brother. His son was shot by the police. He was on CNN. And he was a Mason. And you know what he said while he was on television? He asked the question, is there no help for the widow's son? He didn't ask what jurisdiction you was in. He asked, was there no help for the widow's son? This is what this brother said on national television after his son had been shot. So I'm just saying. So for those of you who continue to battle over names and jurisdiction and you're not this and that, you're missing the big picture. You're missing, you're missing the big picture, brother. Sisters, you're missing the big picture. You know? They keep all the truth away from the black man. Oh, that's so true. Greetings, everybody who's coming on tonight. The call-in number is 619-985-1184. I had a text today from Illuminating Light. I just want to send a big shout out to him and say I thank you for hitting me up. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's true. When I take a minute off, I don't really go out. Shit. Hey, look. The black police officers, some of them can be the most resentful, some of the most hateful people you can come across. They can be. But I guarantee you from what I know and talking to those who I talk to, when they take off their uniform, they are just as scared and terrified as we are. Plain and simple. We all know of incidents where they have killed black police officers who were not dressed in the blue. You know, so I sympathize with them to a certain degree. I do. You know, that's a hell of a job to have. And just think about it. If you told on your fellow officer and you had to go out on a call that night because a breaking and entering came up or there was a shooting and you had to go do an investigation and you was with your partner and for some odd reason you got shot. What are you going to say? Well, you know, we heard noise and I turned around and that's a hell of a job to be in. So do I sympathize with the black police officer? I do. And there's a lot of them who are Masons. Oh, let's not forget, there's a lot of black police officers who are Masons. And I want to send them, I want to send you a big shout out. My hat is off to you. That's one hell of a job to have when you take that uniform off. And you are then just as scared as I am. That's one hell of a job to have. You know? All right, greetings, everybody. Greetings that you're coming on tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, Michael Macklin, prophet. Pray ye all praises to the grand architect of the universe, the temporal, the spiritual, the blessings upon represented in prayerful good serpent. Yeah, the fireworks is illuminating the light. Okay, you really, Mike Lyra, you really trying to make that connection, huh? Mike Lyra, you really trying to make that connection. Well, look, I want to send all the jurisdictions a big shout out tonight. I want to send my Prince Hall brothers and sisters a big shout out tonight. I want to send my PHA brothers and sisters, my international, universal, modern, free, and international. I want to send you all a big shout out tonight. And I'm going to send mainstream Grand Lodges of the United States of these Americas a big shout out tonight. That's just how we get down. That is what separates this show from any other show. We send them all a big shout out. That's how we get down. All right. So welcome aboard to the night show. We're talking about the 4th of July and what it means to the Negro, to the African Americans, to the black, to the color. You know, you as a Mason, you as an Eastern Star. I'm talking to you tonight. What does this mean for you? You know? So let's get it in. When you have the light, you have to keep the zombies at bay. Oh my God. Hey, you remember that movie called let me see, there was a movie and it was not necessarily a zombie movie, but Ronnie Piper, who was a wrestler. I'm not for sure if you guys remember Roddy, what's his name? Rowdy Piper, something like that. He used to be a wrestler, professional wrestler. He was in this movie, and they had these shades that they was put on. They put these glasses on, and you can see who was human and who was not. I can't even think of the name of the movie. The Eyes or something like that. But it was a great movie. It was a great movie. And I bring that movie up because it's like being a Mason. You know, once you have been brought from darkness to light, you can kind of look and say, you suspect, you know, you like, oh, you know, classic movie. I can't think of the name of it though. Yeah, Piper. Yeah, he was a professional wrestler. He was in this movie, and in this particular movie, if you put on the glasses, you can see who was human and who was not. You know, and the uniqueness of this movie was they knew that these aliens or whatever you want to call it, they was integrating themselves into American society. And those and the funny thing is that the humans were becoming the lower class to them. I can't even think of the name of the movie. Somebody help me out with the name of the movie. It's a great movie. It's a classic. You're right about that. Michael White, hey, Brother Tony, send me a copy of that speech in color. I have read it before, but send one to me and I can get it laminated. Yeah, it's going to have to be a big copy, brother. It's going to be a big copy. This, I have a smaller part. This is not the speech here. This is not a speech right here, but this is about Frederick Douglass, how he lived his life and the things that he accomplished, okay? And this one right here is the whole entire speech right here. So I'm going to, I'll get you a copy, Brother Mike White. I'll go have a copy done. I might even have it framed for you and send it, all right? I might even do that for you. So if you're just tuning in tonight and you want to call into the show, you're welcome to do so. We're talking about the 4th of July, and as a black man, what does it mean to you as an Eastern Star, sister of the order, as a Mason? What does this day mean to you? We're just getting in and we're having an open and frank conversation about it, you know, because to me, it's not my Independence Day. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's America's Independence Day. Now, until America begins to treat us all with equal rights under the law, then I can accept that. But it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't do that for all of us. And we all know that there's truly a difference. And this is what bothers me. And this is why I don't understand why we're so at odds with each other in these various jurisdictions. We know We're all in the same damn boat. We know that. They live. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's a classic movie. If you hadn't seen that movie, go back and check it out. That's a classic movie. And by the way, I want to send a big shout out to Harem Grand Lodge out of New York. They're celebrating their 111th annual communications. The Grand Lodge out of New York, Harem Grand Lodge, is celebrating their 111th communication. Big shout out to you and to all of those Grand Lodges of having their grand sessions. I want to just let you know how much we appreciate the hard work that you're doing. Unity Grand Lodge out of New York, St. John's Grand Lodge, Scottish Rite out of New York, King Cypress Grand Lodge out of New York, all right, Alpha Grand Lodge out of New York, the most worshipful Mystic Thai Grand Lodge out of New York, just to name a few Grand Lodges out of New York, and there's a lot of them. I just want to send you a big shout out. Keystone Grand Lodge out of North Carolina, want to send you a big shout out. Let's see who else we got here. St. Andrew's Grand Lodge out of Missouri. St. Matthew's Grand Lodge out of Missouri. Big shout out. New Jersey. If you're in the house in New Jersey, I want to send the most worshipful New Birth Grand Lodge out of New Jersey. The most worshipful Garden State Grand Lodge out of New Jersey. Congratulations. Most worshipful Oriental Grand Lodge out of New Jersey. Just sending New Jersey a big shout out. New York got a lot of Grand Lodges. Oh my God. So let's see who else. Out of Mississippi, just so you know, Prince Hall Grand Lodge out of Mississippi. Big shout out to you, King Harem, King David. Chuney Grand Lodge out of Mississippi. John G. Jones Grand Lodge out of Mississippi. William T. Matthews Grand Lodge out of Mississippi. Just sending you a big shout out. Missouri, St. Matthew's Grand Lodge. I'm just going through my list right here. Alpha Grand Lodge out of Massachusetts. George Washington Carver Grand Lodge. Harem Grand Lodge, all out of Massachusetts. Giving you a big shout out. Louisiana, you in the house. I'm giving Universal Grand Lodge of Louisiana. John G. Jones Grand Lodge out of Louisiana. St. Andrews out of Louisiana. Jerusalem Grand Lodge out of Louisiana. St. John's Grand Lodge out of Louisiana. Prince Hall Grand Lodge, free and accepted. Ancient York Rite Mason out of Louisiana. Big shout out to you. So look, I can go on and on all day long, sending all the various Grand Lodges from the various states a big shout out to you on this 4th of July day, Independence of America. Just letting you know how much I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not going to hold you long. I'm going to get ready to cut it. And I just want you to think about, what does the 4th mean to you? Just want you to think about it for a minute. Representation would help level the playing field. Oh, for sure. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So as I get ready to close tonight, I would hope that we remember each other in our prayers. And, to be a black man in these United States, to be a black man and to be a sister of the order, to be black in America, what does that mean? Just giving you something to think about. So look, we're going to get ready to log off. I hope that you enjoyed the show tonight. I will surely do these good and make these seeds of the sands in the sea, which cannot be numbered. Oh yeah, most definitely. So with that being said, to everybody who tuned in, I want to say I thank you. I appreciate you. Pass on the good word. Help a good man to become a better man in your daily journey. And the same goes for the sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. Peace and be well unto you. Until we meet again, hey, whatever you do, stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm out.